Canada's Marineland is threatening to euthanize 30 beluga whales if federal government does not provide emergency funding. But in a letter obtained by News 4, the Canadian Minister of Fisheries says they should not be responsible for the lack of planning on the park.
Everybody has known since 2019, including Marineland, that this day was going to come. The park closed last year. People's attitudes have changed, and most folks don't want to go see sad whales and dolphins in tanks anymore.
With Marineland on the brink of bankruptcy, the theme park is threatening to take extreme action if the Canadian government doesn't step in and help financially. The park closed to the public last year and has reportedly been trying to sell off its assets since. Previously, Marineland has come out to say they lack the resources to care for its whales, the last captive ones in Canada. In fact, Marineland recently tried to send the whales to a theme park in China, a request denied by Minister of Fisheries Joanne Thompson. Thompson said she was concerned this would, quote, perpetuate the treatment these belugas have endured. Camille Labchuk is the executive director of Animal Justice, a legal group in Canada.
So that's a country without any animal welfare laws, and the aquarium uses animals in its breeding program where they're kept in indoor tanks, and they use them in performances.
In a letter to Thompson obtained by News 4, a Marineland official writes they appreciate her strong belief against captivity, but because these whales were born in captivity, releasing them into the ocean would lead to their demise. The letter goes on to say Marineland is in a critical financial state and that, quote, our only options at this point are to either relocate the whales or face the devastating decision of euthanasia. This is an outcome we are desperately trying to avoid, end quote. But in her response, Thompson says her responsibility is in the best interest of the whales and to taxpayers, adding, quote, the fact that Marineland has not planned for a viable alternative despite raising these whales in captivity for many years does not place the onus on the Canadian government to cover your expenses, end quote. Labchuk is calling this situation morally reprehensible and an utter betrayal of the whales.
The park was inevitably going to close, and those whales would have to find future homes. But instead of setting aside money from its large cash reserves to care for those animals in the future, what Marineland has done is engineered a crisis, and it's now trying to extort money from the Canadian taxpayer to fund the care of those whales.
Marineland had originally given Thompson until tonight to make her decision on the funding before they, quote, proceed with actions that will be a direct consequence of the minister's decision. We have reached out to Marineland for comment, but we have not yet heard back.